So how did my lawn go from this to this? Welcome back to the Greener Lawn. Today we are going to be installing something in my yard that is super awesome, something that I've been kind of waiting for a couple of years and finally have the chance to install it. Oh crap, that's what I did not do. I was gonna pre-baby shampoo this. As awesome as my lawn has been over the few years that I've had this lawn, my sprinklers have always sucked. They've always given me issues because of the curves, edges, and different things in my lawn that kind of wind around. And so trying to take a sprinkler and water around that, you're either overthrowing onto your cement, you're overthrowing into beds, you're overthrowing into places that just don't make sense. You're falling short, you're watering far. It's all the issues that traditional sprinkler systems run into. So what is it that we can do in our lawn that make a bigger difference? Well, that, my friends, is Irrigreen. Irrigreen takes less heads in your lawn and it puts down water at an exact rate and it traces right around the objects. So as I go to apply this today, I'm going to be using my most favorite sprinkler installation tool that I have. My favorite of all time sprinkler installation tool is the Highlander Lawn. I'm only going to be putting a head right here. And the awesome thing about it is this is the other head. Yes, there's going to be only two heads for this space right here. So as you can see, as the Highlander Lawn is cutting right here, all we're doing is going back to the main line. Each head has its own valve. So what's awesome is that the only thing we have to do is take and place the head right here, put a cutoff valve in right there, tap into the main line right there, then run a sprinkler controller over to this point and then run it around to the back and just connect each one of the heads.
Okay, so
Is cheese in Spanish. So when it comes to sprinkler systems, they're not all created equally. They're not going to cover the same way, and they are not going to perform with the same accuracy as a system like the Irrigreen system can perform. The Irrigreen sprinkler system has made a big difference. It's not watering my flower beds, it's not watering my sidewalks, it's not watering places where the water doesn't belong. And so the awesome thing about this head is that as it is spraying out, it has a predetermined precipitation rate of 0.055 inches per rotation. So I know exactly how much I am getting out per rotation of this sprinkler. There's less water on the closer up versus the further out streams. The further out streams are compensating for the rotation of it. As it rotates, the further ones have to put out more water because they're moving quicker than this in here. Obviously, further out you are, the faster you're going. Think about swinging your friends. The person out on the end of swinging your friends is going the fastest. The one in the middle is just barely moving. The faster the middle person goes, that outside person is more, well, you know. So the awesome part about this sprinkler is that it knows exactly how much water is being placed down per rotation, so it makes a bigger difference on having to do cup tests. We just program it into the Irrigreen system and it gets it done for us. So for the Irrigreen system, there has been one trick for me. I am on secondary water, and so I get a lot of different materials that come down and they pollute my line. So I get different algae, I get different growths, I get snails, I get everything that comes down. So the problem with my line is that on a very regular basis, I have to come into my filter and I have to drain this off and I have to clean it. Put my hands in here where there could be potentially spiders. Holy crap. If you don't believe me that all types of stuff gets into this, there's your proof. There's a freaking fish in here. Look at all this different stuff on here. There's different worms, there's different, looks like baby fish, looks like maybe even tadpoles. I don't know what's on here. All types of crazy stuff on this filter. You're freaking getting fish in these things, man. Rinsed off, looks a lot better. That's good and well, that's totally fine, but the problem is even on a 50 mesh micron screen that I have in here to be able to filter, it still gets downline and it does block my heads further down. So to change the filters, it's not hard. You just pull the head up with your hand, untwist the top, comes straight out like that. So to lift it out, all you have to do is just stick your finger in it and it pulls it right out. That is not supposed to be that color. I cleaned it last night before it ran. It ran overnight and that's what it looks like. This is the problem with secondary systems, is there's a lot of pollutant that comes down these lines. So I have to clean this on a very regular basis. If I do not, then the system does not work properly. So that is one of the issues that I have found with this, and they have said that I could put a flush line in with a valve that will flush this out, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. Every time it goes to run, just come out the night before it's supposed to run, clean these filters out. And like that, it's clean. Super easy. There's this little triangle right here on this. It correlates with this opening, so you just line that up with the opening. Openings that shoot come on the outside of this, so you line that up. Comes in, you just push it down, hold on to it, screw it back down and on. And your filters are cleaned. It's that simplistic. But as far as there being issues with the Irrigreen system, this has been my biggest flaw, and it's not their problem. It's just that they have those small teeny openings, so they have to pre-filter, and they're relying on a filter before, and they really don't expect you to get fish in your lines. Who would expect fish in your lines? So overall, the Irrigreen has done a phenomenal job in my yard to make my yard look and perform awesomely. With it performing awesomely, the sprinkler is the main component that's going to do more for your lawn than anything else. If it is dialed in and everything is performing the way that it's supposed to on your irrigation side of things, your lawn can be crisp and awesome a lot easier given the other cultural practices are in place. The most important, hands down, 90% of the battle is in your watering. So get your Irrigreen sprinkler in line. No bigger thing than you can do. And Irrigreen makes that very simplistic. They're a little expensive to initially buy. People are going to realize that. But if you are paying for irrigation, if you don't have secondary water, or if you're not metered on secondary water, you might not put as much weight into this, but you should. Because like me, I'm not metered yet, but in the future, I am going to. We are going to have to know exactly how much water we are putting down. And this sprinkler system is notorious for being able to save people money over the long haul. So a traditional sprinkler system is going to put it where it doesn't belong and it's going to be wasting water, thus wasting money. This does not do this. This actually pays you back over a period of time of owning the Irrigreen sprinkler system. Irrigreen is one of those systems that makes sense for the person who is water conscious, grass green savvy, and just wants an awesome lawn. If you have questions about Irrigreen, please check out my links down in the description. They are going to be where you can find more information, where to purchase, how to purchase, everything down there. This week's question: what do you think about this kind of technology, smart sprinklers? Please leave your comments down in the comments section below about what you think about smart sprinkler systems. I'm Jeremy of The Greener Lawn. Make her green.